Welcome back. With me right now is Susan Kane of Third Mutual. Nice to have you on today.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, it's great. We got a lot to go over. And one of the things you wanted to, I think, say quickly is about dog leashes, right?
I do. This is the correct size dog
Yes.
leash. It's actually about
6
6
feet, right? Yeah.
And we do not want you to have the retractable leashes because they prove to be dangerous. You really don't have control over your animal. And we've seen the animals get a little too excited and run around residents, wrapping themselves around the residents themselves, causing them to fall. And we've got some very vulnerable populations here, but even if you have perfect balance, it's a challenge to remain on your feet.
Yeah, I don't like those myself. I know we have one. We don't use it anymore. And even on our smaller dogs, you feel like if you need to really get them back quickly, you can't. It's almost like using a tape measure. If that lock isn't locked,
Right.
they go.
They're gone, right. So you
I
need
agree
to
with you.
control them, and 6 feet is our limit.
Yes.
And before we get into the heart of things, I want to remind everybody that there's been a change in the board meeting. It's going to be November 16th. That's Thursday at 9:30. And just to put in a plug for the Landscape Committee, it's going to be at 9 o'clock on this Thursday. And Bruce Hartley, who is our new director of department head, is going to be speaking.
Okay, very good. And obviously the reason you're changing the date is the following week is Thanksgiving week.
Right,
So a lot
exactly.
of people may not
the
be here.
holidays are sneaking up on us.
Yes, they are. Okay. Now, you also want to talk about the leasing policy that has been revised,
Yes,
right?
I wanted to say we heard you, we acted, and this policy that was revised July 1st has been changed, and it is effective immediately that there will be no credit checks and no background checks.
Okay.
And there will be more information at the board meeting coming up.
Okay, very good. So I know at the board meeting they talked about really that's going to be on the owner to go ahead and do that for their own benefit.
Well,
If they want to do it,
the owner can make a choice.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
their responsibility, but we're not going to make it mandatory.
Right.
And so also another thing we wanted to make clear that the member first policy that is a GRF policy, it's not a third policy.
Okay.
Just a few
All
little
right.
things to go.
Now you want to talk about the Garden Villa Breezeway projects, right?
Yes, Garden Villa Breezeway is just a beautiful area, and there have been on the agenda for the year, we were going to resurface the breezeway decks and to make them new and bright and shiny, and we had no idea what a big project it was going to be until Bunny and I started to get involved from the landscaping approach. I'm talking about Director Carpenter, who is the co-chair of the Landscaping Committee. And we wanted to make this right for the residents. We wanted to make it beautiful for the residents. We've been meeting with Garden Villa representatives, Stuart Hack, Lynn Jarrett, and we even have an advisor to our committee, and her name is Violet Lawrence.
Okay.
And she's a landscape committee architect, and so she's provided drawings, but it's become very involved. We've got engineering involved now. And
Wow.
it's like Bert Muldau is involved, the staff's involved, Brad's involved, Rosemary, and we want to make it to be really a good program because I think there are more than 50 buildings that are the Garden Villa style.
Yeah.
So the plan is to have 3 pilot locations. There's going to be a meeting in mid-December that Brad is setting up, and we're all going to discuss it then.
Okay.
So it's
So
a
a lot
big deal.
involved.
It's a big deal.
Yeah. Well,
It's
there's
big deal.
that's an important area down below there, kind of a courtyard area, and you want to do it right and really well thought out.
Right,
Yeah.
it's a residence home, and it's really a scenic part of the building. It's really a
it is.
showplace, and so we wanted to make it really lovely.
Very nice. You also wanted to talk about landscape in general.
Yeah, landscape, as you all probably know, has been an issue in this community for a while that we've been really having some concerned about. And so Bruce Hartley has now taken over that area as well as his responsibility as in general services. And so he has taken a really close look at what needs to be done. And he says to hopefully we have good weather, and between now and the end of the year we're going to be doing catch-up. We're going to be doing heavy brush removal, which you can see at Gate 10, that's happened there. Working on the slopes, removing plants that are not acceptable, clearing the drains, and then mowing. Mowing is going down to every other week now. And the garden areas are going to be the flower beds I'm referring to are going to be edged and weeded and mulched, and hopefully everything will be pretty spiffy for Thanksgiving. But we just need the cooperation of the residents to be patient a little longer, and hopefully the weather cooperates with us as well.
All right, very good. And then finally, you want to talk about the breeze.
The breeze, yes. I mean, I still have some more stuff to talk about landscaping, but let me just put a little plug in for the breeze. The breezes are kind of magazine type format newsletter, and it gives information about what's going on in the community. It's written by Third Mutual. Bert Baum is the editor, and also the other mutuals contribute as well. And we really want to have an open dialogue with our residents. And there are many aspects in communication. The breeze maybe seems a little old-fashioned because it is paper, but a lot of people still prefer that. This is online, and there are wonderful articles here as well. And so we would like your feedback. So you can contact Bert Baum, who's the secretary of the Third, and let us know what we're doing right and give us your comments as well.
Okay, very good.
And if I have a moment, can I go back a little bit to the landscaping? At the meeting, there'll be more of an in-depth presentation by Mr. Hartley. He's going to be talking about the organization that he's doing of the actual staff, and what the technology changes are going to be in implementation as well. And he's really got good goals of reaching out to the community. He's spoken at the Gate 10 event at 9:30 on Saturday, and he's going to be very visible and letting us know what's going on. But I've been quite impressed by the fact that he's really getting in depth now in some of our projects. He's really reviewing our irrigation project that we started at Gates 11 and 14, and he's looking at our software and very, very in-depth, intelligent analysis. And so I'm really looking forward to a good, solid program. And we'll be coming out with our goals and recommendations in December for the following year. So I'm excited, and I hope residents will be cooperative. If you'd like to send a before picture to us and an after picture, we'd like to put that into the breeze that I was just mentioning so everyone can see what's going on. All right, very good. Anything else you'd like to add? Well, I do want to mention, if I have a moment more, Annette Soul, who is on Third, is always working very hard, and she was working in the Garden Villa with all the residents on issuing decals for golf carts. And also some of our committee members have been working on finding 500 parking spaces for our residents. And so that's the famous Red Curb program you've heard a lot about. And so we're finding spaces, but all of a sudden we had to take a little step back, and they realized, and I'm really guilty of this, many seniors are a little challenged when it comes to backing up. So they're giving us a little extra space so that we don't have to turn so hard in some of the areas to back up. So some of the areas that had a red line erased, now they're going to paint it back on for those of us who are parking challenged in that regard. All right, but in the long run, there'll be a lot more spaces. And a lot more spaces, which we desperately need. Okay, certainly understand that.
It's hard to back up in those parallel parking, right?
Oh, it's amazing.
Even with the
Sorry.
backup cameras, it's hard. Thank you very much for coming on.
Oh, thank you,
Always a
Tim.
pleasure. And let's remind people again that the third regular board meeting is the 16th this month.
It is.
It's which is about almost, not quite a week early, but the week previous than what it
Right.
normally would be.
Right.
Right? Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye. We'll be right back. Yeah, it's fine.